So, hello guys. Today we're going to be learning fork, also known as double attack. Last class we learned what the pin and skewer are. Those are two of the most useful tactics we'll find in gameplay, and this is also one of the most popular tactics, and it's more well known as the fork because with one piece you attack two pieces like as seen on leeches. This knight can move to this square and it will attack the queen and it will attack the king. And that the fork basically means one piece will have to die because it's in this case it's a check as well. So it's a absolute fork. We can see if we play here, the king will have to move and we can just grab the queen like this. So there are multiple types of forks. Every piece can technically do a fork except a king, as the king cannot go into check. So a knight fork again. So this is a very tough one. I'll make the first move and then I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds to get the fork done. So if you found knight takes f2, f7, congratulations, because this makes sure that we win. First, we sacrifice our queen to lure the king into that square. So over here we're down a queen, and once we take this knight, we're gonna be we're gonna be winning the queen back along with the rook, which means we're gonna be a knight up after this. Yeah. So now moving on to pawn forks. Pawn forks are usually very strong because um n- pawn is generally the lowest point piece. So if you fork someone with the pawn, then you are guaranteed to win material. As in the night, if you're forking another piece with the same value, like a bishop, then it's not really a gaining material. And over here, we can see that if we play the move f4, it is attacking the bishop and attacking the knight. Now, this rook is quite essential because the bishop can also take the pawn. But because our rook defends it, it cannot. We play this. Black can really play anything, but it doesn't matter to us. We can just take it. Okay, again, it's the same idea. This time I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds to solve it. So, if you haven't seen it, the move is d5 as it attacks the knight and the bishop once again. And this time the queen is defending that square, so the bishop cannot take the pawn. And we win the knight. So now it is rook forks. Rook forks are done in a very simple manner as the rook only moves vertically and horizontally. So simply we can play rook d6 as this attacks the king and attacks the bishop. This is not like the previous one where the piece can move and then we take the other piece, but instead, when it's a double attack with king being one of the pieces which is attacked, we're guaranteed to win the other piece because the bishop cannot move. If once this move is done, the king only has to move, and then we win the bishop. Now, bishop forks. Bishop forks are also quite basic. For example, in this position, it is going to be bishop c5 as the same diagonal we look into will attack the king and attack the bishop once again. The king moves out and then we win the rook. Now, queen fork. Queen forks are a little bit more challenging because the queen can move in so many different ways. There are multiple ways of getting forks done, which is that which is why it is quite hard when you're defending against your opponent's queen, but it's also a little hard to find the fork. So we can see in this position that we cannot attack these two knights because they are perfectly defended with each other. But we can see that the rook is lonely there, and if we play queen e5, it attacks the king and also diagonally attacks the rook. This is the thing about queen. It's moving as a rook while checking the king and moving as a bishop while attacking the rook. So we can play this and we can take the rook. So this is a double attack including a fork. As the arrows said, wait, I'll just get the arrows back. As the arrow said, first we will play knight d5, which attacks the rook, and then we're along with the rook, we're also threatening to move our knight to this square c7, which will again attack the king and the rook. And the rook cannot come over here to defend against this because our pawn is there. So we play here. He can play it anywhere, it doesn't matter. We check and we take. This is the same example. This is a little bit of a higher level one, so we're not gonna do this. Let's go for the folk challenge. Again, this is similar to the second night folk which we did. This time I'm gonna let you guys try it out. I'll give you 30 seconds for this one. If you found the move, congratulations. Again a queen sacrifice. We play queen to g1. When the king takes, we win the bishop along with the queen which we sacrificed. Let's go for the folk challenge 2. Now, you guys can get 15 seconds to solve this one. This we can play knight to d6, as this attacks the king and the bishop, but the rook is also defending the bishop, which makes it a little more challenging for us. But now the king has gone to f8. Now, can you find the move again? I'll give you 10 seconds. If you think the move is rook a8, it is correct, because now the king is out to e7 and we can play the finishing blow of knight f5, which attacks the king and the rook. This was a long puzzle, so for those who got all of the sums right, big, uh, oh, look, we cannot take the rook because now if we take the rook, he has a fork. If we take the rook, he has a fork and he wins one of our rooks back. So let's retry the puzzle. Knight check, rook there, knight there. So instead of take, wait, now we can take the rook since he has got his king into a check position. Okay, again a fork. This is the last one we're going to be doing, so it is a little bit challenging. Actually, this is a bit of a high level puzzle. I'll just try to see if there's any other one which we can do. Uh, yeah, this should be able to be, you guys should be able to do this. We need to get a winning position in 3 moves, as this says. I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute for this one. So, if you want a hint, the rook is pretty lonely here. It is not defended, and the king is open. So, the queen should somehow get fork the king and the rook, but it won't be done in one move. So we will have to give a series of checks and then get the final move. If you guys want another hint, we have to move the queen to g5. Now the king moves to that square. There are only two moves which the king has, either king f7 or king h7. Doesn't matter where it moves, we take the pawn on h5 and win the rook. So that is it. I'm gonna give you guys this position as a puzzle, and I will tell the answer next time we meet. Thank you.